D&D, I've never tried it before.
It's pretty fun. I mean, I like it. Oh yeah, let me go. Close the door. Yeah, you want to see a cool picture I got from a yard sale?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
What's up? Let me see.
Let's see it. Focus. Focus.
Like, holy shit, is that the...
It's ramen.
Is that ramen?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
not focusing well, but it was only $2.
Is that like a Japanese artist, like
Um,
rendition? You
I
know what I'm
mean,
talking about, the one
it's
with the
in like
blue
this.
wave?
Oh, I don't know who made it. This is just a print made in China.
Oh, this fucking Chinese dude. Making all of our shit, pretty much carrying our economy.
True. And then I also got some nice clothes, got a couple ties, so that was sick.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah, I actually got a
Damn.
whole ass like well
Hey, what's up, Seffi?
Abby. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I got a whole ass like
Seffi,
well,
Seffi.
what's up, Abby. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I got a whole ass Let me actually get the Twitch chat popped out. So I can see the peeps when they come in. And again, hello Seffi, hope you're doing well. Then I need to pull up the stream on YouTube.
Ooh. Tube.
You. Wait, that's not
Oh my
what I
god,
do.
Jordan Peterson. I'm gonna shoot myself before the video's over. His voice is awful.
Let's see. Am
Dude,
I
if we ever
streaming on
react to an
YouTube?
what's that?
Am I live?
Let
Yeah,
me check.
okay, I'm live. It is. It's just being silly.
Philly little goose.
Mm-hmm.
Philly little fucker.
Alright, now to pop out the YouTube chat in case anyone decides to pop up in YouTube. So, let's see. We got pop out. Cool. I don't think anyone's messaged in the YouTube chat yet.
Oh, by the way, you have over 1K in views for your that one yeah, you have
the
1K. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
You only have 5 subscribers and you have 1K. That's pretty good, not gonna lie.
You know what? I'll take it. Oh yeah, 1.2K views. That's
right.
Crazy. Oh, now I want to take a look at the comments. There are some comments, obviously, from what's his face? Oh, it's all us.
Dude, okay,
Yeah,
see, he said because they strawmanned and didn't allow an argument.
And then
I was like, what's
straw
strawman? And then just cricket, because I don't think he knows what a strawman is.
He might not. I don't know. Seffi, I bothered coffee for like 3 whole hours today. I mean,
oh yeah,
as you
we
do.
hung out.
Oh, sick. Oh, like in person or?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it fun?
Squid's gonna be on later, by the way.
Squid's gonna be on later.
Oh well, sorry, I was talking to Seffi.
Oh, okay. It's like, did Squid say something? Yeah, where is Squid? I mean, I guess he still has like 3 minutes, but you know.
They are always fashionably late.
Yeah, both of you are.
Hey,
Let's be honest.
I came in early today.
You did. Thank you.
But yes, you have a point. I did come in late to the trans thing, and then I fucking pounded him.
Let's see.
True.
Let's see.
Bunny.
Alright, I got it in Deconstruction Junction. There aren't really many places I can post. I did try to see if I could post in Ian's, but nope, not allowed, which I understand.
Oh yeah, especially he's always or they're always like, no free clout.
Yeah.
No free clout.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially how popular they are now. Damn.
Sure, yeah. Oh, fuck, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say.
There's some
Oh, I
shit going
actually,
on.
what's up?
No, go. Keep going. You're good.
Oh, so I actually had an interesting discussion in Ian's server yesterday.
Hmm.
So I saw there were a lot of people in the chat in there. I was like, yeah, I'm curious to see what's going on. And then there was a guy that actually did pull up on the stream to talk, quote unquote talk, but debate against Ian. And he seemed like a pretty salty individual. He kept calling everyone. He just assumed everyone was like pro-choice and that we were all baby killers and stuff.
I
And
am.
so well, it was funny because like I started talking because obviously like him and a couple other people have been going at it for a while,
Hmm.
and so I actually came in and I started talking with the Christian guy, and
Hey,
like
Sigma.
Sig, Kara,
Sigma.
what's up? And so like I started talking with the guy, and you know he was also being nasty to me and everything. But I was like, I was just being very calm, very, you know, it was actually pretty fun. And he's like, oh, you're a baby. I was like, I never claimed to be pro-choice. He's like, oh, well, you're all atheists. I was like, I never claimed to be atheist. Little does he know, I guess, but you know. But
Well, you can. All right. So first, you could be an atheist and be pro-life,
mhm.
and you can also be pro-choice and be not an atheist, and
I
you
was
could
about to say,
also
probably not a
be
Christian.
yeah. I mean, you could be literally. It's a spectrum. You could be both. You could be
Sure.
neither. Dummy.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just
You're dumb.
yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna let him know like how I feel about things because then he's just not gonna have a decent discussion. And he, I mean, he thought it was smart. Actually, all the people in the chat apparently appreciated my insight on shit, which was nice. That felt good. Um, even
yeah.
even had
Worked
like one
nice.
of Ian's or had a couple of Ian's mods in there, Molly and Imp. I think is what they go by. I don't know what the second
By
one
who?
was by. Molly. One of them was
Oh, I
Molly.
love Molly.
Yeah,
Molly's
Molly's great. I
everywhere.
like Molly. I like Molly too.
Molly's on like other atheist. Dude, you know what's crazy? I
What's that?
see when I go into like other atheist live streams, I'll see the same exact people being the mods.
I believe it.
Multiple. Yeah. Oh fuck. And Molly's one of them. God, what's the other one? She's everywhere.
Well, there is another mod in the server
Yeah.
called Imp, and they
Imp.
also went by like other stuff. It was like Imp plus a handful of names. But anyway, we're just waiting on Squid to hop in, and we are going to start watching the Jordan Peterson debate, which I did already watch, but you know, I'm gonna.
I haven't, so this will be good.
I mean, I guess kind of unsurprisingly, I think the atheist did pretty well. Actually,
Yeah.
oh wait, I need to actually share my screen with you.
Yes,
That'd
please.
be a good idea.
I can hear that shit.
So
when you say atheist,
when you say, what do you mean atheist? What do you mean what? And what do you mean the? And even
are we in reality?
is this? Like, so I think realistically, Jordan Peterson's actually like technically quite smart and analytical, but I think he's so lost in his own bullshit at this point.
Yeah, I would say that.
It's like, and his rhetoric and everything, it just gets lost in the reeds. Like, I think he's a good speaker, I guess. I think he'd be a good storyteller, but he's, it's bad. It's just bad. He says a lot of pretty words, and half the time it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or his deflection, or you know, stuff like that.
Or tone policing, where he just completely pivots off and just makes the other side look bad. Therefore,
yeah. Quinn, what's up, friend from the Mordhau days? Quinn is actually a moderator for Mordhau.
hey, what's going on, Quinn?
Can we
Hope you're
argue if
having a
Uncrustables
good day.
count as ravioli?
Hell yeah.
What?
Can be a taco.
Uncrustables or ravioli if hot dogs can be a taco.
That's hilarious. A taco. Some people think that hot dogs are sandwiches. I don't know how I feel
That's true.
about that.
I don't know. So like I had a discussion about that with some people in a server once. A little obviously it was like more of a joke debate. But I was like playing I don't know if I was playing devil's advocate. I don't know which side's right, but I was saying it's like no, hot dog is not sandwich. A sandwich requires the
The real debate's true.
yeah, I mean like the real debate. It's like it was a sandwich requires that it be two separate pieces of like bread or whatever. You can have bagel sandwiches, right? Well, bagels, bread. Anyway, they have to be like functionally parallel to everything else, whereas in a hot dog it's at an angle, so it's not two parallel pieces that are parallel to each other. They're connected and at an angle, so therefore not a sandwich. What if when opening the bun it splits? So two separate. It thus then is no longer whatever it is. It then becomes a sandwich.
Oh, Krome, I think I want to change God is evil to the Christian God is evil. Because I think people will think that I mean like any god, and I don't know if any god can be evil, but I know for a fact the Christian God is evil.
Sure. Well, the Abrahamic God.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I can't.
I
I'll see if there's any.
I don't want to start
rule.
debating like a fucking deist. I mean, like, of course,
I
like,
mean,
we
there's
still have
nothing.
them.
There's nothing you can do against a deist.
Yeah,
Deist is
and-
like
yeah.
God created everything, bailed.
And he bounced.
And he
Yeah,
bounced.
he bounced.
It's like, and I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I don't fucking know.
I can't deny that, but I can.
that would be
deny
way more
a
believable if
triomni
anything.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, the Triomni God. Debate topics.
Cronus is evil. Yes, he's an evil. Fuck. He likes to eat things that should not be eaten, if I can remember correctly.
I feel like most gods probably eat things that shouldn't be eaten. Hello, what's up, Squid?
Is that the squiddy boy?
Yeah,
Is the
'cause-
squiddy
well,
boy?
yeah, you had the Greek Titans, right? Kronos.
Yes.
Kronos was one
Yeah.
of the Titans, right?
Yes.
Or Ranos.
Steffi knows. Steffi knows what's up. Steffi will fill you in.
I see. He ate his.
Yes,
I do know
yeah.
that. I do know that.
Yeah, I know that one.
Kronos was a bastard.
He better have used like some hot sauce or some shit. Better not eat him just straight up raw. Like at least have some like hot sauce,
Some hot
salt,
sauce.
pepper, hot sauce.
All right, Squid. We were about to get ready to watch the Jordan Peterson
Lit.
debate. So it'll probably give me a copy strike. So if anyone would like to donate any money to the stream, to the cause, that
Will it actually give you? Did you get a copy strike last time to Jubilee?
It's a good question. It might not. Maybe Jubilee didn't give me the copy strike on that one, but they are. They do have 10 million subscribers. So I don't know.
They use most. I mean, everybody reacts to Jubilee.
That's
I think
true.
you'll
That's
be
true. So I'll probably be fine. But if you would like to donate money anyway.
Anyway,
$1 million.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
basically give money.
Yeah.
Please. Please. I
We're
beg.
poor.
All right. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. I don't know if we'll be able to finish this because I have to like end
close
by
the-
about 10. So.
Close the game thing.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Boop. Get out of here. Okie dokie. Here we go.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
Don't be a smartass.
Either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing. Right, you're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him. Hello there.
And there was
I'm
Ian.
Dr. Jordan Peterson. I'm a clinical psychologist, a professor emeritus at the University of Toronto, an author, a podcaster, public speaker, and today I'm surrounded by 25 atheists. My first
Oh, you know what? They need to change the title of the video again because, as I was telling Coffee, it was originally 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. and they changed it to Jordan Peterson verse 20 atheists because he will never say he's a Christian. And
I know he just uses.
And then he just said verse 25 atheists. It says 20 in the title.
I guess
Julie's
5 of them
fucking up.
never got a chance.
20 of them definitely don't get a chance. Not all of them get a chance.
Claim atheists.
I saw like a clip of this, and I'm pretty sure it is just 90% him being like, "Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by that word?"
This? What do you mean
And, like,
that?
I mean, it's pretty obvious what he means, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Reject God.
It's like the fake pseudo-intellectual philosopher, kind of.
Well, it's like, yes, it is, but like sometimes it's okay to ask. You'd be
Sure.
like, "Do you believe in God?" It's like, well, what do you mean by believe? Because there are like different spectrums of belief, and you could be like, maybe what you're really asking me is like, how much does my belief affect my life and my decision making? That could be like a legit question.
Yeah,
But
sure.
the reason Jordan Peterson does it is so he can just be like, well, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it means to believe, because you can't give like you can't give the most exacting answer possible, which you never can. So
Yeah.
But they don't
least I
understand
can
what they're
stand.
rejecting.
They don't understand what they're rejecting.
Good afternoon, Dr. Peterson.
How you doing?
So this claim here that atheists don't know what they're rejecting. My background is in studying to become a traditional Catholic priest, daily mass, daily rosary, going on long retreats, deep into the magisterium and biblical hermeneutics, like I was thoroughly in it. And it seems like I do know what I'm missing. Is there something that I missed over years of study, both this issue formally and living out religion so deeply?
Well, you
So deeply.
obviously feel that you missed something when you were practicing for the priesthood. Your aim was off then. So
And
there's
so-
always the possibility that it's still off now.
What was off about my aim in the first
I
place?
don't know. That might take a long time to figure out. But
Then it seems kind of like this no
priest,
true
yeah.
Scotsman type of fallacy in which you're the arbiter of people's aims and how they understand those aims to be. How is it that you can claim that people don't know something that you know about their life despite not having met them?
well, it's obviously a generic claim, just like the atheist claim that there's no God is a
Yeah.
generic claim. In your case, it would have to be specified more, and I'm not claiming to understand what was going on in your mind, but
Yeah.
my experience.
He's not claiming, but he's assuming.
yeah.
He's a little hard on the assumption, basically. Yuksami. I don't believe trans women are women. I could debate that sometime. I mean,
We could do it right.
yeah,
Do
we
it.
could do it right now if you want to come up. We can talk
I
about
don't really. I mean, it's funny to watch Jordan Peterson do whatever, but
it. True.
it's probably more engaging to debate that. You do it right now if you want.
Yuksami. Go ahead and if you want. Obviously, I'm not gonna like force you. We might peer pressure, but the link should be right in like the video titles, and you can use that, and it'll put you right into our waiting room, and we could drag you in from there.
We'll just keep watching while we wait.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Oh wait, is that?
They're in.
Oh wait, is that Eris? Oh shit. Hold on. That's the owner of Aurora Debates.
Oh, lit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
cool.
she was pro trans. Hold on. Hey Eris, what's up? Were you Yuksami? What?
Yeah, I am.
Are you just trolling me? I thought you were pro trans.
No, I'm okay. Well, it's a whole thing because
Okay.
I'm not with. Okay, if it's okay if I can explain real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Of course.
Okay, so, I don't necessarily believe that they're women.
Okay.
I do not see them the same as cis women. They're their own category of women, which is trans
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So when people say that trans women are women, they are not. The reason why I don't put them into this category is I think this kind of delays the understanding as to what women actually are. Cis women actually are, that I don't believe trans women will ever understand or go through. I don't think that that's a bad thing and we should discriminate them because of that. I just have I have a problem saying that they are women, or that we have to see them as cis women, which they are not.
Okay, so yeah, no, basically the when I have that topic up there is trans women are women, as in they are a type of woman, just like a cis woman would be a type of woman.
What does that mean to you? So it's because I hear the argument a lot that
Mm.
trans women, you should see them as any other cis woman. What would you say about that?
I think that I mean, I guess it really depends on the specific situation, right? Like for the most part, especially if like it's a trans woman that presents really well, you know, you just might not even be able to tell one way or another. It's basically it's like recognize the differences, but also appreciate those differences, right? Um,
If I could say, I would just say there's like the category woman, and then cis and trans women
Yeah.
fall under that category.
Exactly.
And so the two like individual like categories of cis and trans women are like separate, and you treat them separately, but you would still say that they're women insofar as they're part of the like women group.
So
Yeah.
intersection, basically.
Like obviously, if it's like there was like a medical situation, they would obviously need to know if you're a trans woman. No doubt. But if you're just like out and about getting coffee, and you know you say hi to a trans woman, you know, just treat them like a person, right?
Or there should be like, there should be like no expectation.
Yeah.
Or let me put it like, if you're a trans woman, like most men are just not going to be attracted to like a trans woman just because of their like genitalia. That's just like, that would be like a way in which they're going to be like treated fundamentally differently, but that wouldn't like preclude them from being under the category of woman.
Mm-hmm. Women can have dicks. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, see, this is the thing where I kind of, what separates them from being from cis women and them being trans women is the experience in itself. It's completely different, because I could say that the intersection is also Black women are women, although they're their own intersection. Because I'm not a feminist, I'm a womanist. I don't believe that, you know, that feminism treats Black women, you know, a certain way, whatever, right? But the reason why I have a problem with it is because when we put them under their own category as a woman, like, I wouldn't even say that they're under the same umbrella, because the treatment is completely, it's too in contrast, right? In order to say that they are a part of it, right? So the reason why I'm explaining that we're talking about experiences, because it's what they are and what they are in this society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's simply just an adjective used to differentiate the groups on a language basis. Like obviously, trans women have to go through a variety of different things than cis women. Like for sure, I think ultimately we agree on that.
I would be curious if there's like, it sounds like there'd almost be a gradient where it's like the more similar a trans woman's experiences to cis women, the more they are like woman. But I don't know. I just don't know if I need like this experiential part of it to factor into my definition.
Why?
I mean, why do I need an experiential component?
Because what is being a woman to you?
I mean, for the sake of just like category of woman, I basically just say like if somebody identifies as a woman, then they fit within the category.
Right, but so this is what I have a problem with, that the value of being a woman starts to deteriorate. Because if we're understanding, we can talk about mother, the word mother. The word mother has so many factors to it, as to this mom being like probably the best thing to happen in a child's life. She's there emotionally, physically, in all these categories. If you're stripping that away, I think that strips away when you just use it as a label to whomever chooses to use that label. That's where I believe it's important to put value into what we're saying, a woman, because I believe that, I'm not saying at this point, let's just stray away from them being trans or whatever. That won't even be a factor. The problem here is that it's taking away women's like our, let's see how we fought for our physical rights, how we
Mhm.
fought for, we're fighting for abortion, we're
Mhm.
fighting for we had to fight to get paid equally, to
Mhm.
divorce, and all these things. This is the history of women, and that's what women are. So when you just say, oh, it's just a word, it's just a label, there's so much you're stripping from that to just use it as a no context thing.
Well, I
Although
think
I don't think
I'm
we're using it
so
a
much,
no. I don't think we're using it as like a no context thing. We're just adding context to it.
I mean,
no,
I
because
would
when you, sorry, go ahead, it's good.
no. Well, I was just gonna say, I think you're like, and maybe there is a reason to moralize this word, but I don't see a reason at all to like not just treat woman as like a category in the same way I treat like this is a carbon, this is hydrogen, like this is just like morally neutral statements. And you can say like, well, women have done X. I don't really think that like impacts the concept of woman like at all, frankly. I could say like my ancestors have done X, but this holds like no bearing on myself or my other like various identities, or at least it
I
shouldn't.
No, it definitely would. Because we have to understand that those things affect us now today. That's why I said that there's modern issues that we face just like we did in the past. Like this could go easily into the Black community,
Mhm.
African Americans, right? We're talking about our history being completely like rich, full of things that come with it, right? And if you just say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not doing the transracial thing," again, it's I want to be that person because that's insane. But I'm saying, like, just bear with me, okay? I'm
Mhm.
saying if somebody were to use that word and just say, "Okay, well, we're gonna place this word here because it's the same characteristics in some type of way,"
Mhm.
although there's a bigger meaning to being an African American. There's a bigger meaning to being Black because that's what I'm saying. Because if you say, oh, okay, well, this has no
Well,
bearing, women is about our ancestors and what they did specifically. Me being a Black woman is still different, but what they did for me to be here, to even talk,
I mean,
right?
would
That,
it? Oh, go ahead.
yeah.
no,
So I would
everything.
say, yeah, I would say that that comes into why woman is such a heavy word to use. Uh,
It's
sorry.
fine if it's fine if all of this historical background is influential in like you as an individual, but woman as a general does not need to carry any of this background information.
It
And
should.
I would say, and using the phrase trans woman, I would say that doesn't detract from any experience of women. I would just say it adds to it of what a woman can be, what a woman can do. And as language evolves, the words change, their meanings change. Hence, why there's a lot of big pushes on what the definition of woman and man should be. We still barely have a definition of sex, to be honest.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I do have a
so
question.
yeah.
Um, so do we, because you say that women experience a certain something in society, which kind of like defines them as women, is that right? They have this
Yes.
certain experience.
Yes. Cis women. Yes.
So it, so I'm trying to figure out then can we not define them as women until they experience this?
They will never be able to.
No, I'm talking
A
about
lot of
cis women because if they haven't had that
Mm.
specific experience that you're talking about, then technically they wouldn't be women. So like an 8-year-old girl who hasn't experienced X,
Like a woman that
then
can never get
technically they
pregnant.
wouldn't
wait.
be a woman, or do you have to
No,
like
well, they're not
girl?
a woman. They're a girl.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the reason why.
Yeah, but we're talking about, sorry, I meant like gender wise.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Although I think that this. See the like you can say okay they don't go through this thing so does that still make them a woman? It wouldn't matter if they go through it necessarily. We're talking about history here. We're talking about the effects
Mm.
of them being able to do things. That's why. Okay, so I want to also be clear. Just like Crone said,
Yeah, Chrome.
Crone. Sorry,
You're good.
adding on that this adds more context because trans women did so much for the LGBTQ community.
Mhm.
They did so much. They honestly, I'm just gonna say it outright. They were the foundations of it because if you look at like especially like it has no relation to drag shows, but it does.
Mhm.
More normalizing as to dressing up a way that people expect other people to dress. And I would even I'm gonna make a hot take, but I think the African American community made that even bigger because if we talk about I forgot her name, but she was a huge protester. She was trans
Mhm.
herself. And she made a impact onto not only trans women but LGBTQ women, fighting for rights and stuff like that.
Wasn't.
'Cause
Oh God.
yeah, go ahead. No, it's okay. Go
Oh,
ahead. Interrupt me
was
because I'm gonna
what
talk.
it wasn't known as LGBT at the time, obviously, but the first
Yeah,
person to do like a LGBT style civil rights movement, I think, might have been the late 1800s, and I think they might have been trans. I don't remember though.
yeah. Marsha P. Johnson.
Yeah,
She was the one. She's the
the
um
progenitor.
she's the American
Yeah,
gay liberation activist.
yeah,
They
yeah.
call it the gay liberation. That one. She was trans.
Mm.
And she fought for LGBTQ in itself, but it's really mainly based off of her being a trans woman in this society, even in the Black community too. I think that that gives them a title to what it means to be trans, what that holds on to. I think like if we talk about here's a good example so you guys can get why it's important to me because
Hmm.
if someone were let's say you guys know who King Leopold is, right?
The
The
guy did the like rape the Congo.
Yeah, he was the Prince of Austria, I believe.
Uh,
I do not
Was he?
remember.
it started with a B. I don't know. It's like I want to say,
Bolivia. No, not Bolivia. I'm just saying bullshit.
Yeah,
but you know,
Budapest.
some a European country, and he did
Right, yeah.
Belgium. That's what
Belgium,
it is.
yeah.
Belgium. Okay, yeah. So he himself, let's say, like he did all the crazy shit, colonizing Africa, whatever.
Yeah.
Has a kid, and he gives the kid the crown. Do you think that that crown holds something, or does it completely wash everything away of what we understand it to represent?
Hello, Beef Supreme.
But we're just giving it to someone else.
But does being a king like remove the symbolic value, like because the original king's gone? That's what you're asking?
Well, the crown specifically itself.
I mean, the crown could still hold aspects of despotism. I mean, if the analogy is supposed to be like, oh well, this is analogous to like race or people, I would say that is disanalogous.
Okay. How so?
Well, because it's an object. It's not like a person. Like an object is a static thing. A person is like a changing thing.
Yeah, I think I'm assuming, Eris, what you're like trying to get at is that the crown is symbolic of something, whereas the word woman would be symbolic of more than just being the word.
You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Because
So-
I feel like
I
if
do
we,
I do think there is a disconnect in those analogies, but I see what you're saying.
yeah, because I feel like you can't appreciate women without bringing that value to the word woman and what their roles are, what our roles are, what is happening towards that in any country. Because you like, I assume are you a feminist, Squid? Like,
Yeah, technically
Okay.
yes, I would be.
I think, yeah, and I think that that aspect is important to understand. That what that carries along with it. I don't I don't mean to.
I mean, if
I'm, I'm
I
trying
can
to
give like, no, sorry,
Mhm.
go.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I can like, frankly, my problem is I just like reject, like, I don't really enjoy any kind of topic that's like, oh, well, to understand like a person. I have to go and like see what a bunch of dead people did. Like I think that's kind of a waste of my time. And then same with like women or like black people or white people or whatever else. I mean, you can say like, well, it's important to understand history because due to history, you as a white person have been, or like your ancestors have been privileged, and this privilege has granted you certain things and whatever. That's like one claim. Another claim, though, the claim that you're trying to say is like, well, to understand woman as just like a binary, not or like not a binary, but just like a category, just a definition. I need to have all this historical background. I just don't.
No,
I
you
like
don't.
does not compute.
I'm not saying that you have to have the historical background. I think you can have what do you know about women's history?
What do I know? I
Yeah,
don't
what do
know.
you know?
Little. Let's just say very little.
I don't. This has nothing to do with you needing to know the word, but I think in general you should just know. If anyone is advocating for women in some type of way, it's important to understand what is happening, because this is all in regard to what is happening now in our modern times, right? Like
Okay.
you can't. The history is so important, because
Right.
it repeats itself, and there's aspects to it that comes along with it. It's important to just remember, right? So I think that when we tend to forget things, as to struggle is valued to me because it shows an effort of what people did have to go through. I think I'm not going to be rude, but I think that when you say, "Oh, I don't want to do that," or "I reject to educate myself," that is your privilege
No,
of
because
being completely
I don't
free.
need to know the history to have policy. Like that, those two things are
That's
disconnected.
true. You're right, but I think that you should in order to. I think that you would have better understanding.
I f-
Like you can't talk
And what
about African American issues in modern times and not understand anything of what happened in the history. I think you would be less. I think you would be less knowledgeable and less credible.
I mean, how would that affect any of my policy prescriptions?
because I'm saying that if you can't acknowledge what has happened towards a group of people, I think that that gives them less value in itself. If you don't
I
like,
mean,
it's like
nothing I'm saying is about acknowledgement.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if you're not willing to see what struggle looks like for a group of people, you're not willing to look at them at all.
It's not that I'm not willing. It's just that I haven't, and I don't like. I'd be down to go read a history book, but
Yeah,
if you're asking me, like, well, do I need to know this to effectuate worthwhile policy? The answer to me is self-evidently no.
Well, no, that's
And I'm
different.
really interested in
Hey,
policy. You can
Lightbringer.
accuse me. Yeah, you can accuse me of being like, oh, well, you don't know the history. I'm like, that's cool, but my policy is good. So whatever.
I don't. No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't care about you whether you know it or not. That's not the point. It's the point of why is it important for me to understand some parts of it? I just said that it's important to give value to those who struggled, right? Because you argued at first, you said that you didn't have interest to. And that to me sounded like you weren't willing to. And I think that that's why I got a little rude. I'm sorry, but I think that when
Be
people
rude. I
say
love
those,
rude.
no, I don't think it's necessary. But I'm saying that I don't think it's to the point where, okay, well, I'm just gonna be comfortable
Steffi wants
where
to
I'm
come up.
at and what's happening right now at the moment, because I think that it gets a little selfish, to a degree. Oh, shit! Wait,
Yeah.
they're arguing.
So I would say, like, ideally, like, I'm not a trans woman. Ideally, I would.
Really?
You know what? Uh, but like, ideally, when it comes to talking about these topics, these situations, I would like, you know, someone that's representative of that community to be able to be the like front runner, right? Mostly I'm just here to try and support, at least when it comes to that subject, and also pro-choice for that matter, because I don't have the bits for that either. But I'm mostly just here trying to support those views. If there are people that are of that demographic that can also push it effectively, then for sure, like, follow them. Like, ideally they have like good arguments and everything too, right? But so, and like going into us, like I'm the one that's like done the trans research. Squid hasn't really delved that much into it yet.
I don't feel, like I said, I don't feel a need to. My moral position is fucking laser focused.
Yeah. Yeah, so we take a very like pragmatic approach when it comes to it. It's like do I know some of the history of, yeah, of course, like I've also taken history classes and stuff, but as Squid was saying, I don't think some of that, I don't think a fair amount of that is required to have a stance that will just be pragmatic, that will be able to help the people in the current day. Do I think history is important and knowing things in history important? Absolutely, right? But in terms of kind of like efficiency, in terms of, as I said, pragmatism, we are going to just kind of try and focus on just making things better currently.
Well, I'm not saying that you can't do that currently, because I don't believe you would necessarily be as credible. I'm not saying that you have to. There is no necessary thing that I'm not using that term. I'm just saying that I would give you more acknowledgement, give your words more value if you do. Because I think that when you... Okay, so for an example, let's say this, that we never... So this is an example in just media in general. I think that talking is like constant talking. Everybody debates so much with no action. It's repetitive. It's lazy to me. I'm not saying that anybody who debates, because I debate too, but I'm an activist myself, right? And I think that when people constantly talk, and then they use the word, okay, well, I'm just trying to fix the noun. There is no fixing. If you're talking, there is no fixing. And here's a tactic that we use even in activism, is that we go through history and we understand the exact same things that they did. Protesting is just a repetitive action that they used to do. There's being angry, defunding, boycotting. All these things are just a repetitive notion because we understand what happened in history and how it can affect us now. So there is your choice to say, do I care enough to actually do something about it? And because there's no, like, I'm saying, like, we have to understand if there's topics we were talking about, I don't think it's required. I'm just saying I think it's important to understand the histories of what does this look like? Because somebody can say that, hey, Trump seems like he's going into fascism, or this country is becoming an oligarchy. What the fuck is an oligarchy? What the fuck does fascism look like, right? All these things
We're getting a little off topic of how this is related. No, we are, because this doesn't really relate to the question of like, why do I need to know the history of women or trans women?
You keep using the word need or necessary.
So if I don't need to, then why are we having this conversation? Then I'm good, right?
So this is what I've been saying this entire time. I just find you less credible. I don't give your words more value, and I think it's lazy, though. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
I find this acceptable.
Okay, that's fine. I just think I would hope that if you ever talk about African American topics, that you understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I have a whole, well, thanks to coffee, I have like multiple documents on trans stuff.
Well, that's all you, bro.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you formatted one of the documents. So.
Well, yeah. No, Krome and coffee. I don't know coffee as much. I feel like I've seen your profile before, but I'm mainly referring.
Very nice guy.
Like, hi, Cuff. But I'm mainly referring to Squid. Like, if you ever talk about African American topics, I hope you would know what you're talking about, because even in our community, we find it very important when we talk about our history of things. It's important that you know who Maya Angelou is, It's important you know who Emmett Till is. It's important that you understand the civil rights movement in itself,
Yeah.
because that is our history. So just be, I'm not gonna say be cautious, but like try to know it, at least some of it. Unless you're willing to just not care. I mean, that's always
I,
another.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
What specific experiences do women need to have, the category of women need to have in order to be qualified as a woman? Like universal wise, like every woman
Childhood,
has to experience.
girlhood.
Could you explain that further? I'm sorry, I'm a boy.
No, it's okay. So girlhood is basically like just being interacted as a girl. It's much different to being like talked to as a woman or a young lady, as people say. Is different between being a girl. So being a girl, I'm not saying everybody has the same experience. There's just very common experiences we have as girls. We're talking about sleepovers. We're talking about smaller things that we have to worry about that boys necessarily would not, or that the problem is that people don't tell boys that they need to be cautious of certain things, right?
So I'm sorry to interrupt. Eris,
No, go ahead.
would you actually be willing to talk with B-Berry, Sephi? I believe she is trans, right? And
No, no.
Oh,
no,
no, she's-
they're
oh.
non-binary. But I
Oh,
still have,
okay,
I still
they're
have
non-binary. Can be,
another
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
You were okay. So you were saying like they need to have certain experiences that the typical girl has.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that being a cis woman, yeah, you can
Yeah.
pull them in, definitely.
Right.
If there was like a tribe that hasn't been introduced to society and the culture that that we have today, would you say the females within that tribe are still women, even though they haven't experienced what our culture has deemed to be like girlhood and stuff like that? Do you still think they're women?
So yeah, so what I'm referring to, again, it doesn't matter whether the experiences are going to be different. I'm not saying that they're going to be the same. I'm saying that in every type of culture, anywhere you go, even in tribes, they're going to treat girls differently. That's
Okay.
just, yeah. So that's just how that is. So it doesn't matter. Like, hey, they didn't. I don't know. Some girlhead thing. Oh yeah, you like Barbie more. You should like Barbie more
Squid
type thing.
coffee.
No,
It's time for a sleepover with a pillow fight.
you're right. Or like, well, my parents did not let me have sleepovers, but yeah. I grew up in a white neighborhood, so they were like, hell no. But yeah.
I'm just trying to find out what the universal experience is, like specifically, what do you need to exactly experience? Like, is
Just
it
being
like
a girl.
the suffering part of like
No.
being treated different?
It's just being treated as a girl. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Hold on,
different, right? Like, that's not universal.
Yes, that is.
Well, I
How is
mean,
it-
but like the like treatment women get is not universal, right? Like it's different between cultures.
Right,
Yeah.
but either way, you're going to be treated as a girl. It doesn't matter pertain to any society. It's just how you are treated as that girl. Whether you're in like
What about-
Australia or like India or whatever, you're still treated as a girl, pertaining to how they portray girls to be. You see what I mean? So it wouldn't matter if it's the same or completely different. It's just that they're going to be treated in a certain way because they're of a certain category, which is a girl.
And what we just
If
say that's like
trans
a-
women were to experience like a similar like difference in treatment when they become trans, would that make a difference at all?
No, because I'm referring to childhood specifically. Because yeah, I think that's what really creates someone to be as they are. Is
Okay.
their childhood? Yeah.
It's more
What
like
if I
childhood. It's
raised-
not necessarily when you're an adult. It's got to
No.
be. It's childhood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, is
I just
B-Berry coming in?
Yeah, I got them.
I guess the obvious question is just what if I raise a boy the same way you'd raise a girl, and I convince everyone in a community to treat them like a girl?
Well, you would. I mean, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Right,
'Cause
but
that's-
so is
in
that a
this- in this
woman?
It's
scenario.
not. I can
It's
100%
still not.
guarantee
It's still
you
not
it's
a
not.
woman though. Even though like we've defined it in such a way where it's 100% guaranteed that this boy will be treated like a girl.
It's
Seppi up here?
100% guaranteed.
Yep.
It's
How do you
100% guaranteed. Yeah, in this thought experiment, it's 100% guaranteed that this like young boy is going to be experience exactly the same thing that young girls do, with like the exception of maybe like puberty or whatever.
Well, no, it's not about what others. It's not about how others are treated. Again, it's just about their own separate category. How are they treated? Are they treated? I mean, like, I don't understand, because what I'm getting at here is that no matter the fuck. Sorry, my braids are acting up. No matter what society you're in, even if you can promise that, I think that hypothetical is, I don't think it's realistic, because no matter what, people are going to treat people differently based on how they look. That's just how it is.
But so it's not you could, but theoretically you could be born as a boy, let's say, but then be a girl. Like you could still be a woman.
Let's say that, okay, that's a thing. I mean, it doesn't really relate to this.
Right. Well, I'm basically just trying to get you to say the words like, yes, someone could be trans. Like someone could be born as a male and then identify as a woman and then be a woman. Like this theoretically
As
could
a
exist.
girl? Wait, they could identify
They would be,
as
because
a girl?
yeah, if they like I were raised as as a girl and I guess identified, sure. But like the point is that they would be a girl by your definition, right?
Well, the point is how they're treated. So if you say they're treated
Yes.
that way, then I mean, yeah, I mean, impossible, but sure.
Right. Well, then I guess I would start trying to get like gradients. Like I knew a girl, or I knew a trans girl, who started transitioning when she was like 9 or 10 or something. Like super. I'm talking like super young. Right.
like
So that means
puberty
she's
blockers
lived
and
the majority of her life, and she passes. She even passed when she was young. So she lived the majority of her time as a girl and was treated like a girl, and everyone in her family treated her like a girl. Like
Like a
Right,
girl
would-
or a trans girl?
like a girl. So would you say this person's a girl?
I don't think I can determine that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Hate to
Hi,
interrupt.
baby.
Hello.
I like-
Question. So,
Yeah, what's-
trans women cannot be women, you say, because that they don't experience certain things that are, you believe, integral to womanhood. Would that... Sorry, words. I did a lot of talking with coffee earlier, and I'm out of words. I feel like I've gone
Take
through
your
my
time.
words.
It's fine. Take your time.
If a cis woman does not experience those things that you consider integral to womanhood, like I will never get married. I will
Okay.
never have children. Does that make me
Mhm.
less of a woman? Does that make me on
No.
par with trans women?
No, I think that wait, trans women can get married and have kids. I mean, it wouldn't really pertain to. I think you're mainly trying to ask me what is a woman. I think that's what you're asking me. Like I said, I think that trans women. I'm not gonna say they aren't women. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, bro, you're not like who does that? I'm not gonna. To be clear, this has nothing to do with how I would treat them IRL, because I understand how they're treated in general. Just to clarify, I would say that they are their own category, as I've made sure that everybody understood. They're their own category of a woman. We've been debating that a little bit, but yeah. So I wouldn't say like, hey, like, oh no, you don't experience this or you don't experience that because you don't want this, you don't want that. That sounds more like a traditional thing. I'm not gonna lie to say you don't like kids or anything, but I'm saying that this goes into what does that entail? This entails, like we just talked about, like girlhood. What does that mean?
Right.
What does
I
those
would say
experiences
I've been listening.
consist of?
I've been listening.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's not okay. What's your wants or what your role is supposed to be in society? It's not that. It's just what you've been seen as because of the characteristics you've had all your life. I think because we can get into race so easily with that, right? But
like if, like Squid said, they're passing. They're treated as a woman. They've been treated as a woman their whole life. Does that not make them a woman?
You're talking about a kid?
I'm talking about.
Because we were talking about childhood. Like if, like what Squid said, that they were born a male, but they transitioned super early. And so therefore, when they were going through childhood, they were treated as a girl. Does that now make them a woman?
Squid
That's
had
what
to go.
Squid's point was. Yeah.
I know.
Squid said something came up. He has to go. That son of a bitch.
Like if you're raised that you're socialized female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what your actual genetics are, or what your body looks like.
Then again, I think that okay, let's be realistic. If you come out as trans and then other people will have to acknowledge that you are, they're going to treat you as a trans girl, no matter what they are. That's why I'm saying that I can't really determine based on their childhood, because someone giving them the wrong pronouns in itself already puts them in a category of being a trans girl. Right? Does it make them...
Does that make me any less of a non-binary person?
Wait, what'd you say?
You said using the wrong pronouns automatically puts them in that category of trans. I get misgendered every day simply because of how I look and how my voice sounds.
Yeah.
Does that make me any less of a non-binary person? I know it's kind of slightly off track, but...
It's not about you being less of. I just don't think that they're less of a woman. I don't think being trans makes you less of a woman. Being a trans woman or a trans man makes you less of what you identify as. I think that puts you in a category of what you are. I believe in intersection wholeheartedly, because you can't completely cover a woman's issues. You have to acknowledge transgender issues that pertain to that. Yeah. It's not the same thing as cis women's issues. Well, it's just going through different.
I think ultimately, like, again, I think we just agree, right?
That's what I was literally about to say.
Yeah, we all agree. I think the thing was more or less what Eris has been saying. It's like it might behoove us to make sure if we do talk about a topic, especially like a social one, civil rights and the like, then it can help to understand the history. That's what feels like this all kind of boiled down to. Correct.
I don't know. I feel like it just boiled down to. I feel like we're equating, like the topic. Trans women are women, and trans women are cis women. That's what I feel like is the difference between what we're talking about. Because some people will say that trans women aren't women, period. And I feel like those are the people that we would want to talk to.
That's what we're looking for, more or less.
Yeah.
But you've brought up like an interesting perspective on it, so I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, the childhood thing. I found that. I found that interesting.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. So Barry, what did you feel about my response with that?
With the that it makes them like a different subset of women?
Yes.
Why does there need to be subsets?
Because you can't tackle women's issues and trans issues. It's just too much. Because I think that trans issues are important, right? Mm-hmm. And it needs acknowledgement. It needs attention. And you can't give everything attention all at once. It's the same thing.
All at once, I agree that, but why not in time?
You can't. It doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. It's not about that. I said this. Like, this is why I'm not a feminist. I believe they mainly think about white women issues rather than Black women's issues or Native American women's issues. Mm-hmm. Because that general ideology is white women, so they're going to focus on what they experience or what they understand. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's not, but it's just that people aren't completely coming together in the most diverse way as possible, it's not working. So when you create your own, you're also actually giving action, acknowledgement, and stuff to issues that people don't talk about enough because there's not enough people to talk about it. That's why it's important to have your own subset of it.
Is it
And
kind of okay? Sorry, B, go ahead.
Sorry. I understand that. That's also why I'm a feminist, because Black women are my sisters, Native American women are my sisters. There's no reason to divide us.
Yes, there is.
I understand wanting the individuality, and I understand wanting the this is who I am and my identity, but division does not make this any easier for anyone.
Do you mind if I chime in right quick?
Have at it.
So I think the reason that I personally kind of agree with Eris here in terms of having these separate categories. Like, I think it's great to have like an umbrella term for everything and then have subcategories because, for example, as Eris was saying, it's like, you know, white women are gonna on average gonna have different experiences from Black women, and so it's kind of, so obviously you can talk upon women's rights and everything as a whole. It just depends on the subject. But if you're talking about white women or Black women, they're going to have their own specific set of circumstances that also need to be addressed. So it's good to have these categories to determine what issues need to be focused on in this specific thing. So if you're talking about like women's rights, you're just talking about all women. But if you're talking about the rights of a Black woman, and, you know, obviously through many years of systemic racism that continues to this day, they are going to have separate issues that also need to be focused on, that they have to deal with. Like, I know trans people in the Black community tend to have it very rough as well. So like you might talk about Black trans kids more specifically, so you understand, at least just in terms of communicating with other people, you want them to understand what you're trying to get across. That's why we have like all the definitions and everything like that. So when we do have these discussions, we don't have to like what's the word, like beat around the bush. We're like, oh yeah, we're talking about Black trans issues, and it's like that already sets the space of what we're going to be talking about basically. So I think it's just more efficient to have these categories to be able to discuss the issues.
And I'm not debating the efficiency. I think I understand the efficiency in the labeling. I don't like the separation there, because then that, I feel, leads the way for an us versus them, which nobody needs that.
I don't think that'll happen.
I think that's where the divide begins, is when you believe in that, because you can understand both, you can support both. It's the same thing. The only problem is when you can't, because this is the assumption, is that you understand and that you know this separate category. Why does it have to be over here? Why is it not over there? I mean, like, why is it not over here where I'm at? The reason because of that is because you can't, like, again, like I said, I'm not a feminist because I believe it caters to what white women go through. It does not cater to what Black women or Native American or African American women go through, because it can't. If the majority of it is based around, that's why people have their own safe spaces. You would question diversity in itself. Why is there groups of people in their own separate? This is like what culture is. It's differences with common opinions and experiences and interactions, right? That's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with things being separate. It's just that you have to acknowledge that things are different. Because if you don't acknowledge that things are different and you want it to be the same, you're going to have the same mindset as those who believe, why do we have to have diversity? Why do we have to have different cultures? Why do we have to have migration, right? It's okay for things to be different. It's okay for different issues to happen. It's just that you can give yourself the obligation or the responsibility to say, okay, well, if I'm understanding this and I'm supporting this, and they're over there, I'm gonna understand that too because they're in the same category of it. It's important that you think that way.
Right. Well, and I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just needing clarification, I guess.
Wait, say that word again.
Clarification?
Oh, okay. I thought you said I don't know, man.
Claritin.
Clairvoyance.
Two have
I need that shit
allergies.
right now, dude.
It's been real
True.
useful lately.
No, you're good. So yeah. So do you understand like where I'm getting at though, and how that can seem that way when you feel those things?
Right. Like, yeah, I understand it. I'm not going to say that I agree because I have some disagreements with it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Cool, productive conversation.
Yay!
Yay.
Bro.
At least we're learning from each other's sides, and that's what this conversation or these types of conversations are about. It's not necessarily trying to change each other's minds.
Mhm.
It's trying to get into a position where it's like, oh, that's what you mean. Gotcha. Like you can still not agree, but when it's coming from more of an honest place, it just makes for a much better conversation.
Yeah. If you guys want, do you guys know who Alice Walker is?
No.
I don't think
I know the name. I
so.
can't think of who she is right now.
Okay. So she's they consider her a black feminist, but she's a womanish. She created that category. I wholeheartedly, if you are trying to get more into what I'm trying to talk about or what I'm referring to, she is like the pillars of what I'm referring to. It's her thing is more like a prose poem thing, but she goes into her ideology a little bit in Search of Our Mother's Garden. That is a big one. It's poetry, though it gives you some idea to what her perspectives of being a black woman is or what that entails and why it's different from feminism. So yeah, I highly recommend that.
All right, well, definitely. I have her wiki page pulled up right now, so I can't say we're gonna like look at it in this moment, but I did want to pull it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, if are you a part of our Discord?
Wait, which one?
Well, she is now. I mean, she's in here.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
like in our server.
Which server? Is there another one
The Discord.
that you guys are in?
The one that we're in right now. I don't know if you had joined yet.
Oh, you have to join in order to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the wish
Oh,
to.
really?
Yeah, to get in the
Oh,
waiting
cool. I
room.
didn't know
Yeah.
So if you want
It's a
to drop
trap.
any like
Resources.
any studies, resources, anything like that, yeah, go for it. I wanna learn. I wanna read some stuff up.
Yeah, side note on that, Chrome, I was trying to put in like some equality, equity, justice, like infographic things, and it wouldn't let me put in images.
Oh.
Just side note.
Okay.
Why are you guys suppressing them?
So
Why are you suppressing
it's not
them?
my fault. We're gonna blame Fleeg, even though they're not here
Wow.
right now.
So, I wanted to ask. Wait, keep forgetting your name. Barry, what's your pronouns?
They, them.
Oh, okay. Yo, I thought I was messing up. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
No,
Exactly.
that's kind of why like my stance on the whole socialized female thing was weird because I am non-binary, but I also have said that I am a woman in a performative sense. I am she in the way that we use she for ships or planes. Like I'm not.
interesting.
If I was
that's
socialized
interesting.
female, I was raised female. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's just where
Okay.
my little stance on that comes from.
So the conclusion is that B-Berry is a plane or a car or a boat.
Wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't
That
take
is
that
crazy.
level of disrespect, me personally.
Yeah,
Just
fuck you.
performative female. One of my friends says that they're female, but in the way that some Christians are only Christian at Easter and Christmas time.
Mhm.
Wow, that's actually I like that actually.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
That was so
This
good.
is just like my perspective on like I have two sisters, one of which is the straightest woman probably ever alive.
Wow.
So like it's just my perspective
to
on
conquer.
women and sisterhood is a little bit different.
B, you know who would really like you? You know who you would have a really good conversation with?
Fireside this
Shay.
would not be a good conversation.
Oh, Shay.
No. Yes, you and Shay would click. Like she has the exact same processes, and your language is just like how her language is. It's so cool. I think you guys would really like each other. She's very identical to you.
I am always open to new friends. It's how I ended up in this server is I met Coffee.
Hell yeah.
I don't mean to steal your people, guys.
No, you're
but,
fine.
like,
You're fine. I mean,
I'm gonna invite them
you're
to
allowing
Aurora.
us. You're allowing us to like promote the stream in your Discord server that has a good amount of people. So no,
I
like
did. Oh, I did send it to. I sent the stream to one of my
Wait,
my
chat should
friends,
not be
my
paused, what?
Metamors, who is very much a political debater type of woman. So maybe
Hell
she
yeah.
would hop in at some point.
It's cool. Yeah, no. Hopefully, some of the Lightbringer is from Aurora, so I
Mhm.
saw that and I was like, yeah, come watch me debate.
yeah. Apparently, Salamander's been snooping.
I'm gonna try to get some people to debate you because I just debated someone, a MAGA guy
Oh,
today. I was
fun.
like, why? I was like, they were like, I'm
gross.
15, and I was like, never mind.
True.
Just-
Yeah.
You'll grow out of it. It's
Yeah.
just
You yeah. Yeah. Oh, B. Sorry if the boat joke was a bit much earlier.
Oh no, it's fine.
seize him. Seize him.
No.
Don't let me
Please just don't
touch.
touch the hair.
Your hair.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, your hair. You're talking about your hair?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
I guess.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
I thought it was like extensions or something. I didn't know.
No, it's all natural.
It's the real
Oh my
deal.
God.
It's the real Krome.
It's the real
My
shit.
my hair is 20 inches.
Holy
Wait, let me
shit.
see.
Nice. Yeah,
It's
mine was
not
cut
real.
recently.
It's not my real hair, but it's like
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
what is it? Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, dog.
yeah. I use human. Not human. Horse hair. I
My
don't
hair
use
isn't
human
very
hair.
particularly long, but it's pink.
Hell yeah.
Yo-
Pink
Also good.
hair.
Also good.
Yo, okay, wait. Actually, hear me out. Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't a debate talk anymore. Hear me out. If I had Persephone's hair abilities that just grows and you just cut, yo, the world is in trouble, bro. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Persephone has this ability where her hair will grow super long, and if she
Guess
cuts
you do.
it and has like a pixie cut one day, it just grows like the next day. And I'm like,
See
Yo,
why my
I
hair is like this. I don't know why the camera's not fucking loading.
Yeah, I saw it pop up for a sec.
I don't know why it's not loading. No, she's why my
No.
hair is like this because when you cut her hair, it just turns
Oh,
into
we
petals,
might not
or
have
at least the more
permissions for
Olympus
you
one.
guys, actually. Now that I think about it.
Oh,
Yeah, just in
Right.
case like someone comes up and like flashes the stream or moons the stream, because
right.
other people have had trouble with that.
Mine says
I hate when
try
that
again.
happens.
That's
Yeah.
probably just me because it's raining and my grandparents have Starlink.
Lightbringer is saying everyone's so pretty. Oh, there's
Everyone is
B.
pretty here.
Hi B. Oh, okay, I guess it is working. So. Neat.
Is it where?
Oh no, B just. What happened to B?
No, not the bee.
B, where'd you go? Is there like an auto kick thing in Discord?
I have no idea. There are
must
too
have-
too many pretty people on stream. We can't have that.
Too many pretty peeps.
We should probably get back to the Jordan Peterson stuff.
Yeah, I think yeah, we can get back to Jordan Peterson.
Actually, you know what? I hate Jordan Peterson. Let's just continue talking about hair.
Continue talking about hair. Oh, give me one sec.
Nah, I'm just joking. But I do want to see Jordan Peterson get absolutely shredded. That is always fun to watch. God, him in the Matt Dillahunty one, oh my god, he got rolled.
All right. So, whoops. Do. Can I, pull up the chat. Oh, there's B. Welcome back.
Hello, B.
I don't know what happened.
Hi. Yeah, I think I said I was like, oh, hey, it's working. There's B, and then you immediately gone.
It like I don't know what happened. I'm gonna try and.
Well, hopefully stable now.
It's Starlink. Are we really trusting anything that comes out of that man's hands?
Wait, are you on Starlink?
Yes, my grandparents are
Uh,
Catholic Republicans.
My condolences.
This is why I'm moving.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna get Shay one day. I'm gonna get her in here one day.
Shay is cool. I like talking with Shay.
Who's Shay?
She's like, shit.
She's also in Aurora debate. She's one of the mods, right?
Yeah, she's an admin.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's label her as that. She's more than that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I had a decent conversation with her recently. We were talking about the stream and shit, and she was helping me with a little bit of that, which was nice.
I saw that.
Yeah, and she lives in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Australia.
She's a portrayer.
Story camera trying.
She portrayed it. Oh, all right. Light says I have to go. My computer is dead, and it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, get the fuck out. Why are you here still?
Thanks for joining,
Yes.
Light. Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
so
coming
much.
by. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I live here. I gotta do some cleaning. It was nice talking to you all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun.
Krome, thank you very much for letting me come in here.
Oh yeah, of course. Anytime.
Of course.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Also, we might have an open mic night this weekend, so I need to do it.
Holy shit, Lime! What the fuck?
Oh.
Live?
Okay. Anyways,
4
bye,
a.m.
guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you, Krome. Thank you, Coffee.
Thanks, Barry.
will see you later.
See ya.
Bye bye.
That was a good time.
Dude, that was awesome. That was probably like our best discussion that we've had so far.
Give me a sec.
Especially vibe-wise. That's the kind of vibe I want with these streams, is like not trying to understand each other. Even like when we make counter arguments, like we try to understand each other. But thank you, Lime, for sticking with us up at 4 a.m. That's crazy.
That is insane.
Wait, shit. Hold up. What's that time difference? That's 3. That's a 7. Are you in Europe? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was like,
when I have exams, I stay awake all night because I don't trust myself to wake up. Oh, interesting.
yo, dude, true. I'm
Seffi's
proud of
return
you
to
for
chat.
that. That's some dedication right there. Also, hey, Bunny. Oh wait, really? Am I right? Europe? Holy shit!
I'm assuming. Actually, what time is it? There's 7.
I was thinking UK.
Eastern Europe, somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eastern Europe.
7-hour
Okay.
difference from East Coast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because right. So funny enough, our time difference depends on daylight savings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so at the moment we're at a 6-hour time difference with like Western Europe, so like the UK, or Spain,
okay.
France,
That
and
makes sense.
and on the other end of that, it would be 5-hour difference because daylight savings is weird and dumb. Krome,
Okay.
how would you defend the position of being against broadly legal abortion through trimester 3. Oh wait, were you is that in reference to what you said to me on Discord? You're good. Defend.
Oh, dude, I was like, who the hell are you talking to? And
Yeah,
then
on
I just
YouTube.
went over to the YouTube. Yeah.
Ooh, to
was
make
like,
the Earth flat again.
Make the Earth flat again?
Oh no.
I'm down. Like,
Don't.
I mean, if
Donut
someone
Earth.
makes a good argument, hell yeah, dog. Flatten it up.
Okay, so you were asking me. Yeah, let me look at that in chat. So you did ask me, or you said it would be fascinating seeing you debate third trimester abortion with people who presumably hold the until birth view. I mean, so if I'm going to be arguing directly on my stance with that, I mean, it would be upon the basis of harm reduction, as I tend to do, I guess. Like, obviously, there's always going to be other factors, but I guess especially in this case, it would be under harm reduction, because post 23 weeks, we would assume that the fetus does. So they would develop the required connection, the thalamocortical connection, to develop the capacity for sentience, and at that point, I think it would just be behoove us to assume that they have, at that point, that they just have sentience to. And if they have the sentience, then they can be like hurt. They can potentially feel pain, stuff like that. So at that point, I'm like, maybe not abort them at that point. Depending on your definition of abortion, there can be abortions where the fetus does live and stuff, but sorry, I wasn't like prepared to answer that, so I'm just like halfway here. The Earth couldn't be flat. Some capitalists would make it a tourist attraction. True.
So true.
All right. So obviously keep asking questions or keep saying things in the chats. We are going to continue down. How would you address the bodily autonomy argument specifically? I mean, like, I'm also a proponent of bodily autonomy. So it ends up after the 23 weeks. It's still kind of a gray area for me, that I would kind of have to suss out. Mostly it's my stance is heavy upon pre 23 weeks. But anyway, Joel didn't pee this. Oh, do you think parents have an obligation to tell children about medical issues the child may have had but doesn't remember? Have an obligation to tell children about medical issues the child may have had but doesn't remember. I mean, like, I had pretty bad asthma when I was like 3 years old. Or so I was told. The no obligation to donate an organ thing. Oh, it's a gray area. Interesting. No obligation to donate an organ. I mean, like, ideally, I would like everyone to be organ donors, but I can't force them to do that.
Nah, fucking force them.
Fucking do it. Donate all your organs. I was born with bone deformities in my legs, and I wore braces for the first 3 years of my life, but my parents didn't tell me until I turned 18. It was because it has caused chronic pain my entire life. I mean, like, ideally, they tell you about pre-existing conditions or conditions you've had before. Ideally, the doctors also have record of it. Granted, keeping records is a lot more efficient and better now because of technology, computers, databases. So, anyway, Jordan Peterson.
With atheists is twofold. Is that they have a very reductive notion of what constitutes God, let's say in the Judeo-Christian tradition, and they've often been hurt by someone who was religious or by the religious enterprise or perhaps by God himself,
They've
so
got
to
a
speak,
cane.
and that's left them with an animus.
But I think that you have a reductive view
nice
of what
cane?
atheism is. You've defined religion so broadly to include any sort of having aim in life, any sort of cultural archetypes, or having a metaphorical substrate. And atheism to you is a very specific type of like 3 people in the world that are these Raskolnikov type of, they want to get away with a perfect murder. It seems like you have the reductive view of what an atheist is.
True.
Well, let's start with your claim.
Yeah, I think that's actually a big thing. We'll start with your claim. Okay, hey, pink cane. All right. Pink's good. Pink's good. I like colors.
Same, dog.
Yeah, so I think Cade actually made a really good point there. It's like, well, you claim that atheists have a reductive view of God, but theists typically have reductive views of what atheists are. There's a lot of assumptions that are made about atheists, and atheists are not all the same. Just like, so go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, like, the definition of atheist is rejecting the claim that so basically all we're doing as atheists is rejecting a theist claim.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to call us reductionists, then you have to I just don't understand, because all it is talking about that we're not reducing it to anything. Maybe specific atheists are, but the word atheist is a rejection of the claim that God exists, theist.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that all atheists have in common is that they reject the definition of the theist God.
Basically,
That's
yeah.
it. So
I've seen other more vague definitions of atheist, of course, but yeah, no, for the most part, atheist is we just don't like the Abrahamic God, or we don't believe he exists, in general.
It's not that we don't like him, because you can like him or not like him and him still exist. But
thank you, B. I forgot about that. Boop. Make that small. Yeah, good enough.
How do you define the God that you're rejecting? What is
God.
God to you? You studied in the church, you found that unsatisfactory. How would you characterize what you rejected?
I think the average Christian believer, when they say that they're Christian and they believe, they mean some sort
I don't know what he's doing there. Honestly, that kind of was a dodge.
Oh, what, Jordan? Mr. Peterson? Dr. Peterson?
No, the other guy,
Cade?
because he... Wait, yeah, well, whoever's with the hat,
Yeah.
you just asked him, you said, what's the God that you are rejecting? And then he goes into... He doesn't really explain it. I mean, maybe he's getting into it.
Maybe, yeah.
But, like, dude, this is a format where you got to be direct.
Yeah, you got to be...
So,
You don't have much time. Salamander says, perhaps Jordan Peterson is saying they reject his definition of God. What is his definition of God? I don't know.
dog, it would be so vague.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, I would love to know his definition of God.
Yeah.
We're talking about theism, not... That's what atheism is. It's the rejection of the theist God, which is like the tri-omni God. That's like generally.
Yeah, the Abrahamic
so
one, yeah.
If Jordan Peterson's definition of God is different, then honestly, you're just talking past each other.
Except he's Hellenic. I don't care about either one. Yeah.
Hellenism is way cooler, though.
sort of God that is all-powerful, all-perfect, is somehow involved in the matters of this world, and that we look to them through wisdom and with the Logos incarnate in Christ. And it also seems like you don't believe in religion in the way that the average Christian says that they believe in religion. And there are as many gods out there as there are believers, because everybody has mutually exclusive and different views of what God is. So it seems
Well,
like...
if everybody had mutually exclusive views of what God is, no one could speak to each other. The mere fact of communication presumes a commonality of assumption and definition. And it's certainly not the case that I regard any archetypal manifestation whatsoever as...
Hold on one second. So quick question. Salamander asked, what do atheists think of deism? I actually need to go use the bathroom if you would like to respond, Coffee.
That's exactly... You're just dodging, bro. You're dodging like Jordan Peterson, bro. Nah, I'm joking.
I'll be right back.
So for deism, I feel like it's a very, it's a broad kind of definition, which I'm okay with, because if it's a broad definition, well, okay. So if you're saying, I am not speaking for all atheists, I'm speaking for myself right now. Atheists may have the same, kind of like thoughts. But right now I'm not speaking for atheists. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if I find any contradictions in the deist God. There may be, there may not be. So I won't reject a deist God, per se. But I'm kind of similar in the boat where I just don't really have enough evidence. Like I could be, I would basically I'm agnostic to it. Yeah, I'm not agnostic to it. I I would pretty much qualify myself as a Gnostic atheist, but not a Gnostic atheist. If is atheism a word? I think it is. I think it's just a rejection of deism. Um, but I don't know. I haven't really studied too much deism. Because I feel like there's not a lot of deists who use deism to force things on other people or put down other people based on deism. Maybe there are, but I feel like the main topic that I really care about is whether or not your belief system affects other people. I was just about to ask if you would call yourself an agnostic. Yes. See, it's just one of those things where I don't like claiming knowledge because I don't know if we have access to capital T truth. But based on like the contradictions that I've found within theism, like especially like the Abrahamic God, which is why it's like specifically the Abrahamic God that I'm like debating. Um, excuse me. So I don't know. Because I don't know. I am always open to being wrong. Always. Um and so like I don't know. It's a really good question. I'd probably if I was being extremely honest, I'd probably still call myself an agnostic atheist. But given the knowledge I have, and I like how I said knowledge, given what I think I know, I think there are too many contradictions within the Abrahamic God to believe in it, or maybe not believes right word, to just like give the claim that he's real. I could not, I don't think I could ever be a Gnostic theist. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. A deist God could definitely exist. I don't know if there are any contradictions that would be like that would just like what's the word I'm looking for? That would yeah, that would put into question the laws of logic basically. So but I would always be willing to change my mind. I'm a Christian. It saddens me to see other Christians put others down in your word. Too often Christians choose to judge the people instead of the actions and forget they themselves are sinners too. Um yeah, I think I agree with you. Like I'm okay with people believing in a God even if I don't agree with them. Like people have counter beliefs to people say that decaf coffee is better. I'm like, fuck no, decaf coffee's not better. Or fucking caffeinated coffee's way better, bro. And I mean, obviously that's a subjective opinion. Um, which actually doesn't work. So sorry I brought that up. I just wanted to bring up coffee. Um, but no, I agree. Like it's okay to have your own belief. It may be true, may not be true, but I feel like if your belief impacts other people negatively, I feel like that should be challenged. Um, but yeah, I agree. Like I don't have problem with Christians, period. Like I live in a like I work in a place where there's predominantly Christians. Um and I'll wear my like atheist experience hat sometimes and I'll get like comments on it from Christians where they're like, "Oh my gosh, oh you're an atheist? Oh, why are you an atheist?" And they're just super kind, you know? And they'll invite me to church. I'll be like, "That's really nice of you. I understand the gesture. I'm not interested."
I'm back.
And they're like, "Yeah, that's cool." And hey, and that's cool. Like, but I'll tell a little bit of a story real quick about interaction I had with a Christian while I was at work. So I was it was like a really busy day, and this guy wanted to get some like boxes of tea. So I was ringing him up, and I was wearing my atheist experience beanie, and I guess he noticed it. I'm not totally sure because I don't know why he would bring this up if he didn't. Um, so I finished ringing him up. He was very quiet. He was very quiet. I'm very personable at the register. So he was very quiet. And then after I finished ringing him up, I said, "Have a good day, my friend." And he looks me fucking dead in the goddamn eyes. Sorry. And says, "We are not friends. We can only be friends if you believe in Jesus Christ." And that took me that kind of like I mean, obviously as an atheist it's silly. I'm like, okay, whatever, but from a like a societal, cultural, humanistic mindset, I'm like, holy shit, like this is tribalism.
Like, that was rude as
And
fuck.
it was rude. And like I did it didn't get to me on the like I don't know how to explain it, because it got to me and it also didn't get to me. It didn't get to me in the sense of like, oh, I couldn't be friends with him. No, it was the principle of what he said, of what he meant. It's, hey, you don't believe in what I believe in. Fuck you. We can't associate. That was the principle that I took from that, and that shit hurt. You know,
Yeah.
not because it was personal, but because I'm not the only one who he's talking to like that. If he meets someone else, he's gonna say the same exact thing, and it's just scary that that people think like that. It's tribalism in a sense, and
It's
that's the shit
othering,
that I
yeah.
don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit I don't like. So.
And you might have said this while I was away, but yeah, like just because I may be atheist doesn't mean like I think Christians are dumb. I don't think all Christians are awful or anything like that. Obviously, I have a few friends that are Christian. We don't really talk about it, but you know. But it also depends where you live and everything. Well, when I was working at my last coffee job, it was in like a hipster area, so we didn't really get that, fortunately.
I wonder to what degree he said that because you were intentionally public about your atheism. Public. Like, Could you explain that a little bit further? Like, would you say that? Because like he wouldn't know I was an atheist until
Well, you're
I
sure,
told him.
right?
Well, no, it was a beanie, and
Oh, the atheist.
I'm
Well,
not
the beanie.
portraying what's that?
Well, yeah, your beanie said atheist experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's what
but
Salamander's referring to.
But it's the interaction I had with him, and I can't remember if he was wearing a cross or not. But that doesn't matter to me. What matters is that I'm speaking to a human being that shares similar experiences to me in reality, and I know they struggle. I know that happens, and so I empathize with that struggle, and I treat them in a way where I'm like, yeah, like they deserve to be treated in a good way. They haven't given me any indication that they're a bad person or anything like that, and I don't know that. I mean, could you enlighten me on that? Because I feel like it still doesn't matter. Like, I wouldn't challenge a Christian because they are wearing a cross. I wouldn't do that. So I may be receiving that wrong, Salamander, but I mean, I agree with you. His words were not justified in any way. But just because I'm public, quote unquote, public with my atheism, I yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that.
I'm a big proponent of like common courtesy. So it's like, oh well, I mean, I obviously there's a limit. You know, maybe if someone's wearing a swastika or something, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to be nice to that person. But
Oh yeah, dude. There's actually a Proud Boy that goes to our fucking coffee shop. He's a regular. Fucking Dean. He's nice, but dude, you're a piece of shit.
It's like,
You're
I'm
a
happy
piece
you're
of
polite, but you can be polite and be a piece of shit. So.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure fucking Hitler was like, "Hey, what's up?"
It was very nice to some people.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, "What's up, Christopher? How was your weekend?" Like, yeah.
Did you kill any Jews?
But I don't know if it. Yeah, I don't know if it matters if I'm intentional or not. You still can't talk. I mean, you could. Yeah, I'm shit. You could talk to me in that way.
Yeah, but it's definitely.
Yeah,
shitty,
and like I
but,
said,
yeah.
there were other Christians who saw the beanie and were like, "Oh, you're an atheist. Like, oh, can we like talk about that?" No, he was like, "Nah, fuck you," in the nicest of terms, I guess.
I'd be like, no, do you see this line of cups I have to fill?
Oh yeah, man. Can you tell me about the Proud Boys? I just know they are problematic conservative activist group. So it's basically the ideas they have. Here, let me hold on. Here, I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up their kind of like principles. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's like a nice guy, he tips and everything, but like that doesn't
Yeah, but still, yeah. I don't want your tips.
Low-key, yeah.
Well, I do have it's the anti-defam.
Fucking Gavin McGinnis. I hope he fucking suffers. Western. Okay, so core beliefs and principles. Western chauvinism, a belief in the superiority of Western culture, often used to mask underlying white national sentiments. That's a little bit about that. And that's already like pretty much everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Anti-communism, anti-socialism. I get the anti-communism part, like, but I don't know. So opposition to leftist ideologies, that can be used, can be viewed as like threats to Western values. They're also hella into traditional gender roles, traditional masculinity, women being subservient. Holy shit, they have a fucking slogan called "Venerate the Housewife." What the fuck?
I know the guy the leader of the Proud Boys was actually sent to prison because of January 6th, or he was sent to prison by.
But Gavin McGinnis?
No,
there's some. There were a lot of Proud Boys.
It was like the leader of the. Let me look it up.
Yeah, because Gavin McGinnis.
Enrique Tarrio.
No, actually, you're right. They
Yeah.
He founded it. It's not the leader anymore.
Oh well. You know, he got like sent to prison and shit.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. I had no clue about this.
What's up?
All right. There's a multi-tiered initiation process. Fucking what? Okay. So first, you have to declare yourself as a Western.
Actually,
huh?
So, can you send me the link so I can put it up on stream?
Yeah. Hold on. Well, I kind of have like a summary right now.
Yeah. I mean that's fine.
Hold on. All right, here's one of them. I think this is where I'm getting most of the information from.
Lawyer Monthly.
Oh, dude. Motherfucking Squid would love it. No, I'm joking. So, declaring oneself as a chauvinist, Western chauvinist.
Hold up, we have someone in the waiting room.
Oh shit, who is it?
Beef Supreme from YouTube.
What's up, Beef?
Should we bring him in?
Up.
All right.
Yeah.
What's up, Beef
Hey,
Supreme?
how's it going, Beef?
Hey, how's it going?
It's
not too bad.
We're chilling.
Nice.
What you got on your mind?
I see on the list, pro-choice into third trimester, and I'm just curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
right.
it's all you, Krome.
What was that?
Oh
no,
boy.
I was just saying, it's on you, Krome.
I was like, oh wait, I have to actually like think about shit right now. All right, so let me pull up something. Pull up notes and stuff.
Oh, I just want to say the second initiation process for being a Proud Boy is enduring a physical beating until the initiate can name 5 breakfast cereals, symbolizing camaraderie and resilience.
That's pretty wild.
That's
engaging in a physical
silly.
altercation for the cause, demonstrating willingness to defend their beliefs through violence. So, Salamander, they're pieces of shit, and
don't
all.
be like them. All right,
Yeah.
so Beef Supreme. I'm just gonna read what I typed at some point, and I was like, okay, this kind of works. I don't have like I don't have a syllogism, a good one for this right now, but.
Good.
So my stance is basically that it is amoral to abort a fetus pre-23 weeks on the grounds that it is incapable of experiencing any sort of physical, mental, or emotional suffering / distress. Therefore, I act upon harm reduction in this specific instance. It is incapable because it has yet to develop the capacity for sentience, which is the thalamocortical connection between the thalamus and cerebral cortex, which forms around the 24-week mark, so I say 23 weeks just in case. My definition of sentience would basically be the ability to experience or sense the world through sensory processing. It can kind of be synonymous with consciousness, whether or not consciousness is real, more or less. But at this point, I grant the fetus moral consideration because I will assume that it has the ability to interpret or be conscious of physical, emotional, or mental suffering. I would say, people typically see harm as immoral aside from pleasure. But this is an assumption, even if it's an educated one. Outside of harm reduction, I also grant moral consideration on the basis that I value a person's ability to experience and to have had experiences which cannot be had without the capacity for sentience. Sorry, I know
okay,
that was just
interesting.
about-
So
yeah, that was
no,
a lot.
all good.
Please feel free to ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
sorry.
No. Yeah. Well, how
Uh,
about you ask some questions that you thought about when you
Yeah.
saw the topic.
Okay. So you're appealing to harm reduction, right? So it's and that once it feels pain, obviously the fetus, you think that is the point when it becomes amoral to abort it. Is that correct?
After 23 weeks, yes, I would say it then could be immoral to abort it. Yeah.
Okay,
though
interesting.
I do have an exception for with risk of trauma to the pregnant individual, whether that be physical or mental. So I still have a couple exceptions after that.
Okay, and into third trimester meaning 24 weeks. That's the limit, right?
Well, I have it at 23 weeks, which puts it
Or, sorry,
right at
23.
it. Yeah, it puts it right at the third trimester. To be honest, the topic up on the board is kind of a bait. It's technically true, but
Okay, I see. Into third trimester. So would you agree that all fetuses have an inherent moral value, or are they just a clump of cells that if they can't really feel anything, that doesn't really mean they matter?
So
Doesn't kind of, you can just do whatever you want with it if you can't really feel anything?
So basically, yeah, I don't really think fetuses really have any inherent moral value. I don't think that exists. Saying that, wait, what was the other part of that? You had another part of it. The clump of cells thing. It's well, I mean, I'm a clump of cells, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Lost my train of thought. What makes a human life valuable? I'm kind of curious about that.
So that's when I grant moral consideration. So at at 23 weeks, basically, typically the connection that forms in the brain forms. As I said, it's around 24 weeks. Usually it's after that, but I just say 23 weeks just in case.
Is that what? And that's what gives the human life inherent value, right? That's
for me after the fact, the value is more or less derived from their ability to have and retain experiences.
Well, I can't argue with that, man. That's pretty reasonable.
I appreciate
it.
it. Yeah.
I just approach was in the third trimester. I thought that meant up until birth, into third trimester.
I think it can mean that, but
can mean okay.
I think it
All
can.
right, 4 hours till birth. Kill it.
Oh no! Oh no! Just shoot it right out the window.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you have more questions on that, feel free. Okie dokie.
Yo,
Well,
seriously, thanks for coming up, Steve.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously, that was we appreciate you even just asking questions helps us even think about our own beliefs. Like we may be wrong. You may have the best question for us to rethink our belief.
Salamander says third trimester starts around 27 or 28 weeks, but tomato. I wonder if up until birth people would qualify that by saying up until labor begins. So the guy that was actually up here earlier, he doesn't really do much on the abortion discussion, but he actually does all the way up till birth. So if anyone ever wants to have like a discussion with him on that, his stance is much more just kind of like straightforward. His focus is on other things, so I wouldn't like necessarily suggest actually discuss that issue with him. I guess I don't know. That would be up to Squid. That is not my personal stance. Let's see. Anyway,
fuck Proud Boys.
And both of you,
Quench.
both of
Get
you
quenched,
at the
dude.
same time. Was that planned?
No, it was definitely not. You just didn't quench enough.
Okay.
And Bunny noticed that and was like, you know what? You gotta quench even more, dude. I'm just gonna spam quenches now. I have like 4K points.
Oh no. I know I have other rewards up there, don't I?
You need
Quench
better
me.
ones, bro. I want
What?
some
Later,
silly
Salamander.
ones.
I mean, there's a cat on my bed right now. You could
Peace
easily
out,
do the
Salamander.
pet cam.
Oh
Sing a
my
part
god,
of
that
a
one's a good
song.
one.
Yeah. Jeez, you're just making claims I don't have good ones. You don't even know what I got. But like, I only have a couple things, so. Or I have like 3 custom things: quench me, pet cam, and sing a part of a song. Though I might need to specify with a part of the song. More or less, that's going to be songs that I know.
Yeah,
But,
true.
But
That's
you
fine,
can
though.
recommend a song. I had someone do Cruel Angel's Thesis, if you know what that is.
I do not know what that is.
That is the opening to the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh my
So
god.
it's in Japanese.
Didn't finish that. Is it good? I heard it's like one of the best animes.
So, yes, but the problem is if you watch the original series, the original show, they end up basically running out of budget at the end, and so the end is not really satisfying. It's actually kind of silly. I would say it's still worth the watch, and then there's all the movies, which the movies add some stuff and continue the plot and everything. I still need to watch the last movie. Yeah. Very popular opening song. Used in
Oh,
memes.
yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we are gonna go back onto Jordan Peterson for the. Honestly, we don't have that much time left because I'm planning. I have to go at like 10 o'clock because I have to wake up at 7.
True.
Give myself some time.
Equally religious. So that's not a real claim. Let me give you an example. For example, there's a sub-narrative in the story of Moses where Moses is rewarded with a glimpse of God. Okay, and that's one of the ways that God is characterized in the Old Testament stories.
Yes.
Now, Moses is a faithful servant of God and a good man. At least that's the case within the confines of the story.
One possible
It's
interpretation.
the case within the confines of the story, obviously. But
Well,
there's
not obviously.
there's
When we look at the Bible can't precisely say anything because there are so many different exegetical and hermeneutic views of this particular book. and that everybody has everybody has disagreed historically on, it seems like, even the most benign detail about a book this big. And it seems like you can only say that the Bible says something if you first presuppose that it's univocal.
So your claim essentially is that Moses in the Old Testament plays the role of a villain or is irrelevant? Because the alternative claim
I'm
is
saying that we
he's
don't
good.
know, because
Well,
we can't talk to those authors.
If you are going to start with the presupposition that there's nothing I
Let
can
me know
say
if you
about
want me to
any of
pause.
these stories that you're not going to disagree with from the perspective that there are multiple potential competing claims, then I can't speak with you. So
And
you
we
have
also have a short time here, so I want to get to the core of what you're arguing here, and I'd love if we could
the
kind
core
get
of what
through
I'm
them.
arguing is that atheists reject God, but they don't understand what they're rejecting. So I'm trying to
Yes.
give you an example of what's being rejected and its complexity. Okay, so
Here, can you pause
God
this?
rewards Moses with a glimpse of
What's up? What's up?
It's like I said before, this is just a rejection of the claim that the theist is doing. So if he's saying that the atheists don't understand what they're rejecting, we're rejecting what the theists think they believe in. So if he's saying that, then that means he has to say that theists don't know what they believe. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, well, I mean, let's be honest. A lot of theists, I don't think, know what they believe either. Hence why there's so many Christian denominations, right? Hence why there's the big divide between the Catholics and the Protestants.
It just seems that he doesn't. He's trying to like put the Christian God away from what traditional Christians say, like a triomni God, because that's like basically what atheists reject is a triomni God.
I mean,
So I'm just confused on. I don't know. I think he's just using semantic wordplay to make an argument.
oh, and they get into that. One of the guests gets into that and tells him as such. Basically, it's like you're just going back to the fog of semantics or something like that, or retreating into the semantic fogginess or something like that.
the divine. So this is a definition of the God that atheists are hypothetically rejecting.
A possible one.
I said
Yeah.
I didn't say the.
I know.
said
That is
right.
possible, yes.
Okay. So despite the fact that Moses is a stellar character and he's had a long and difficult life and can withstand a lot of difficulty and travail,
Yeah, we just don't
God
know
puts
what
him between
Jordan
two cliffs.
Peterson is.
So he can
That's the
just
thing.
see a crack of what's in front of him. And when God walks by, he allows him to see his back. Okay, so the implication of
Perfect.
that story is that the divine is fundamentally unknowable. It's a pinnacle experience, and that
The divine is ultimately unknowable, therefore we don't know if it's good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. If it's unknowable, then why you fuck do you believe it? Oh my god, he literally just, I think that was self-defeating. I don't know, dude.
Maybe
It's
a
unknowable,
little bit.
therefore you don't know it.
Therefore
also
you
the
can't
Christians
reject
don't
it, but
know it.
therefore why do you believe in it?
Oh, what?
Yeah, I mean it's Jordan Peterson. What can you do against him? He just brushes things off. We don't know what he actually believes. We don't know if he's actually a Christian. And I think he's worried about saying what he believes, because then it would be easier to defeat his views. That, or he's just a grifter and doesn't actually believe in anything. He's just saying shit.
I mean, at
don't
least
know.
like there's like descriptors of the Hellenistic gods.
Yeah.
That are like specific. There's like no specific. They literally is just like all powerful, all good, all loving, all blah 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 blah. But there's like no. That's so vague too.
I mean,
Like what
it's
does
Jordan
all
Peterson.
loving mean? You know, like
Sephi. That's why I like Greek gods, because they are knowable. Very true.
Yeah, right.
They are finite beings. They are just very powerful individually and have their own specific abilities. Yeah. Oh, fun fact. You should look up what the Egyptian god Thoth is in Greek.
oh, I think I remember. reading something on that.
Mhm.
Thoth.
Thoth.
Sephi probably might know that shit.
Well,
Sephi, do you know anything about that? They probably do.
Here, I'll look. So, no, not Thoth's Greek counterpart, but Thoth in Greek, or Thoth. Either. Here, I will. You see this right here. I'm gonna post it in the chat. So looking at that, you can see what it kind of looks like, right? It looks like,
yeah, a little
oh,
bit.
well.
Oh,
So, and Thoth is the Egyptian god of knowledge, right?
oh, I didn't know that.
So you can literally go up to Thoth and ask, "Oh, whoa, what's this?"
Oh my god, that is so funny.
I didn't make that up on my
what's
own,
this?
unfortunately. Oh, well.
That's so funny.
Exactly, Sephi.
Oh, well.
It looks like, oh, well. It's just a funny.
That's funny. I like it.
You can legitimately ask without implication of being a furry, "Oh, whoa, what's this?"
No.
People in their finitude have to be shielded from a comprehensive
Jail
vision
for
of
1,000 years for
the
Krome.
basis of
I
reality.
mean, I technically
Well,
am
that's
a
not
furry, so...
the God that's defined in that manner,
And there goes like half my viewership.
right? It's not a simple personification. It's not a simple old man in the sky. It's something that, in its essence, is unknowable and overwhelming, and that isn't, in my experience, the God that's defined by atheists who are attempting to undermine the story. I mean, it's the same claim, for example, that you're a finite creature and that you face something that in the final analysis is unknowable, and that you have to establish a relationship with it regardless of your inability to perceive or even withstand perceiving the whole. Okay, is there a problem with that?
I mean, the problem is that when we look at, famously, when you've been asked, do you believe in God? The question becomes, what do we mean by God? And in the Bible, it's not even clear the biblical authors know what God is, because Yahweh has historically emerged from an early storm god, a deity that doesn't exhaust the category of deity, and that has changed over the Old Testament.
Yeah, I think Yahweh was... it was based off to... what religion was it? I think it was the religion that had, like, Bahamut and Tiamat. Was that Babylonian?
Yeah,
there were like two deities that basically became the Abrahamic God.
Let me do.
I think anyway. You just researching it.
They're like the Canaanite religion,
Maybe. Oh, it might be
ancient Israelites.
Maybe, I don't know.
El, the high god, Asherah, his consort,
Maybe.
Baal, the storm god.
Oh, yep,
Baal.
yeah, Baal.
And then God, Yam, Mot, and Anat, gods of sea, death, and war. So this is like, yeah.
There's a lot of really cool ancient polytheistic religions that we just never talk about. To be honest, I think they're pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Does God have physicality? Does God not have physicality? It seems like, yes, if you define religion to me,
this woman
anybody
really
that has an
well,
aim,
the
anybody that
66
looks
on
at
the
the
shirt.
unknown, anybody who wants to go from chaos to order is inherently religious, then yes. But also in the same way, I could define atheist as somebody who doesn't dogmatically believe in a religion, or somebody who doesn't regularly attend religious services or belong to a denomination. To help especially the audience kind of like boil this down, there was a lot of words there. That the central claim is that we exist somewhere between the finite and the infinite.
A central claim.
A central claim is that we exist somewhere between the finite and the infinite.
No,
Is that...
I said that we were finite and we had to establish a relationship with the infinite.
Yeah, then in that case, then we're all religious, but then I can do the same thing and define one particular element of atheism. It seems like we both have a reductive view of what the other side looks like, to the point where a conversation seems incoherent, and not just incoherent, but not in the way that the average Christian understands Christianity to be.
Do you have a
True.
problem?
Pause there. Sorry, you've been voted out by
Awesome.
the majority.
There's Parker.
Do you want to do one more and then call it?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to
How you
meet you.
doing? Nice to meet you,
I don't
David.
even remember
David, good to
this
see
guy.
you.
Tell me everything that you know about the Polynesian deity Lono, L-O-N-O.
I
What the
don't know
fuck?
anything about the Polynesian deity Lono.
Neither do I.
You're
Yeah,
rejecting
I
something
don't think anyone-
without
I
knowledge
imagine
of what
not
you're
many people
rejecting.
I'm not rejecting it.
Do
No
you
more
be-
than I'm
do
rejecting
you believe in
anything
Lono?
that I don't know anything
Do you
about.
believe in Lono?
I
Do you
fail to
believe
see
that
the
he is a
relevance of
deity
that.
that exists in the world, exists in the universe, that exists in
It's
the
oily.
existence of everything? Do you believe that Lono
I'll
is
answer
a
that
being?
question once you answer my question, which is, do I reject everything that I'm ignorant of? Because that's your presupposition that undergirds your argument, and unless you can prove that that's valid, then there's no point.
My question is quite simple.
Yeah, but
What?
that doesn't
Do
mean
you
it's
believe-
formulated accurately.
Do you believe that Lono exists? Yes or no?
I'm not going to answer that question for the reasons I just described. You already insisted that if I reject something, that if I'm ignorant of something, I reject it. Do you think that everyone in
That's the whole thing about atheism. We're not rejecting it. We just don't believe it. We don't have the information for us to claim a belief.
Yeah.
So like literally he's describing atheism. He's an atheist to that God because he doesn't have enough information on it to make a positive or negative claim.
the world has to know everything simultaneously for that to be valid and true?
I think in order for your
Answer that
argument
question.
to be true,
Answer
in order
his
for it to be
question. What do you
true that
mean, Mr. Peterson?
we atheists don't understand what we're rejecting, then you need to also apply that to yourself and to Christians and to Muslims and to any other person on this earth, where if you don't understand what you're rejecting the belief in, then you can't reject the belief in it. That's the implication of your
I didn't
claim.
say that I rejected the belief in Lona. I said
it's
I didn't
Lono.
know who Lono was.
It is Lono.
I didn't say anything about rejecting.
That's because I've asked you several times and you haven't, but let me get to my even greater point. You're saying atheists don't understand what religion is or what God is in order to be able to reject it fully or completely. We have someone over here who studied it in their own way. I've studied religion. I have a degree in religious studies, specialty in Christianity and Mediterranean traditions. And further than that, beyond me, Pew Research studies suggest that atheists and agnostics actually know more about religion and about religious stories, the foundational principles, than believers.
That's because they're more religious than they think they are.
Okay. You can.
They're concerned with deep matters, and one of the defining characteristics of someone who's oriented.
I mean, like, you could maybe... I mean, they're obviously not religious. They're not even... atheists aren't even cult-like, right? Because like, a cult requires... And I think religion requires a worship of something. So, like... Jordan, from what I can tell, is like... Dr. Peterson, you're just saying... humans think in similar ways, no matter their beliefs. At least that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. Oh yeah, when they say atheism is a cult, I'm like, it's definitionally it is very much not that.
The religious direction is that they're concerned with deep matters.
Okay.
In fact, it's virtually definitional.
Right, but they also have to identify with a religious tradition and accept the foundational stories that go along
Well,
with
that would mean more that they're sectarian than that they're religious. And most people, for example,
What's sectarian?
A sectarian?
Yeah. Someone who strongly supports their religious or political group, often to the point of
Rigid
intolerance or
loyalty, yeah.
conflict with others. Okay, yeah.
So a
Sure.
subgroup within a larger tradition. So
Okay.
like
Yeah, a sect.
Protestantism and
Yeah.
Sunni, Shia, Hasidic.
Yep. Orthodox.
Yeah.
in the United States deny that they're religious but accept that they're spiritual.
Let's pause there. You've been voted out by the majority.
I mean, I think he had a good argument.
Aha!
Oh yeah, but it is 10 o'clock.
Yeah. That was a short one.
Yeah.
All right, let's call it here.
This guy I do like though.
Who is this guy? I have no idea.
His name is Greg. Say
Fucking
hello
Greg,
to
dude.
Greg.
Hello, Greg.
He seems like a chill guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we're going to be ending the stream here. I'm not entirely sure when the next stream will be, because we just don't have like a schedule set up. You know, we have different schedules.
I'm good tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so.
All right, yeah, I might be able to do tomorrow as well. So.
Hell yeah.
So, and then we'll obviously see if Squid wants to, or it could just be us two again. We'll continue down Jordan Peterson.
I hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
All right.
It's Squid. I'm sure he's fine.
Squid doing Squid things. He probably just wanted to sniff some cologne. Which I totally respect. Fuck listening to Jordan Peterson. I would literally rather smell some cologne.
True. I just want to smell nice things. That's all I desire.
Yeah, right?
That's what I worship.
Things. I want to smell nice things.
Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for stopping by. Please check out, or please leave a like, a follow, etc., etc. Please check out Aurora Debates Discord, since they do let us post events for the streams. They even pinged everyone for the stream today, which is great. So yeah, you can just look them up on Discord search or whatever. Aurora Debates, like Aurora Borealis.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Also check out Deadliest Squid on YouTube and Twitch. That was the other guy that was here earlier. He has his own YouTube channel, and I think he occasionally streams. Though I don't know if he streams as much now. But either way, check him out. And Coffee, do you have any socials you'd like to plug?
No, I'm pretty. I mean, shit. I have that one channel where I debated a Christian, but I don't use it enough where I will plug it in.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.